All right, y'all are saying I'm live again. Let me see if this thing is working here. Okay, it might be working. It looks like something is happening. I'm gonna turn this volume down and I'll be able to tell in a second. Do me a favor, type one on if this thing ever works. Mello, good to see you, man. Miss B, good, good, good. Harv, I see you. Grace and peace, man. How you doing? How's everything? 144. I'm glad you are in here. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. And then Joe's daughter, the comments, y'all do the most. I can't lie, y'all do the most in the comments. And a lot of what's going on, I know this is gonna offend some people, but a lot of what's going on come from Israel. A lot of what's going on come from Israel. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get in. Those brothers, they went down there. They went to lunch after church. They ended eating in the fellowship hall. I shoot straight up here because I want to make sure we go in and I want to talk about something. I'm here and I was arguing with my man, one of the brothers that's a minister that's here. We were a little bit back and forth because he worried about my agenda. He worried about what they got me with. What am I doing? What are you doing here? If the people say they praying and they letting me chill, I'm chilling. That I'm not chilling. I'm going live. I'm in prayer, and I've been seeking God about a lot of stuff, some serious stuff. And God said, He's bringing me out of stuff. I've shared with y'all before that I'm scary. Now I ain't scary. I ain't scared out here in them streets, but I'm scary with some stuff. And God said, listen, in the midst of all of this stuff, I'm around. And shout out to all the people of God. I'm around some oneness Pentecostals. I'm here with Baptist people, the only place that's really open within a 20-mile radius of oneness Pentecostals. My homegirl, she oneness. Shout out to one of my peeps. Shout out to my pastor, my man, or my brother that I get a lot of counsel from. And I got people that's praying for me from all angles, Baptist people, Israel, plenty Israel praying for me. And God showed me that what I'm doing is unique. He said, in the midst of what you're doing, because it's unique, he said he got to deliver me from some stuff. So I'm like, all right, Lord, because I tell y'all I come from craziness. I tell y'all I'm a multiple convicted. I get out here and I tells my business. I don't tell all of it, but I tell the majority. Y'all know 90% of what's going on with me. Individuals know my life. I say my life is an open book, and God said that He was delivering me. And I know I often would get on video and say I'm coming up out the matrix, but He got to deliver me from a scary spirit. He said He was delivering me from some stuff, and some of the stuff that He's delivering me from, it has to do with individuals. A lot of, and not just me. The only reason I'm sharing it with y'all because other people going through it too, especially when you got ministry and your ministry is unique. He's delivering me from approval. There's some folk that need church folk approval. Different people need different type of approval. I'm like, Lord, if you got to deliver me from approval, but I get on there and I do what I want to do. I'm ignorant, God. How you got to deliver me from approval? But He said, no. He said, no. What I've called you to do is a unique work. I'm delivering you from the approval of them preachers. And I understand what he was saying. As soon as he dropped it in my spirit, I'm like, Lord, I'm guilty of that. I get around a lot of people and they degreed up my system and done been all the seminary. Give me all of them books. I get around some people talking about they got DDs and them divs. Come on, I'm going to talk that talk with them. And he said, you've been worshiping me. So I've been going to church and I've been worshiping God. And I am a worshiper, but I haven't been drawn from that well of life. I'm drawn from these fools that got seminary degrees. Sister Carr, good to see you. That's all the approval I need. We appreciate you, Sister Carr. I appreciate Israel. I rides with y'all. I don't care what they say. But it's hard because riding with Israel, riding with oneness apologists, riding with certain people, and especially in this last hour, there's going to be more and more people that's going to be coming to the channel, more and more people like us that's open to dialogue. Israel are coming here with no problem. So I had to, long time ago, God had to pull me up out of that whole thing with urban apologists and this and that, because he's beginning to show me in the season that that's cultural banging. Because they got heavy energy. And I got beef with Elder. I got beef with Israel. Shout out to Minister Dante and them. I'm so busy, and because I'm shaping what God is calling me to do, and in prayer, I'm not even hitting other people's channel. Israel, Herbal Apology. I'm not hitting nobody channel really, so I don't know what's going on. Charles, Elder Johnson hit me, and he hit me with a video, and I'm looking at the video, and I'm like, oh my goodness. He's just riling me up. But God's calling us in a unique hour. He's stripping some stuff down from the church. And in the midst of that, I have to get out here, Yolanda, and I got to talk about the church, so they want to dog me out. I want the approval. I'm like, God, I just want to make sure it's you in the midst of talking to these guys. I want to make sure stuff you dropping in my spirit is right and exact. So I, in a multitude of counsel, so I get around counsel. I get around some degreed up cat and talk that talk. But he said, listen, you got to draw from the well and the wisdom that I have. And it's just different. It's not like those people are bad people. It's different, and they've been trained a certain way. He said, the training that I've given you, the training that I put you through, no man got. So I'm like, all right, Lord, I don't want to amp myself up, but I understand what he's saying. He's telling me some unique things when it comes down to being myself. The fastest way to kill somebody that's special is try to compare them to other people. And God dropped that in my spirit. Listen to some other the fastest way to kill somebody special, a ministry that's special, a work that is special, is start comparing it to other apologists or other ministries, other YouTube channels. So I have no time for that right now. But I'm glad that I got some people that's been hitting me. Shout out to the bishop. We appreciate everybody. Torres, brother Torres hit me. Like I said, Sister Carr, shout out to everybody. Bishop Brown, Apostle Jenkins, whoever I bring on here, when I'm talking about their bishop or their apostle, they're going to set the house right. They're going to do what apostles are called to do, what bishops are called to do. I'm not talking about these guys from the seminary and all that. I'm talking about people that don't spend time with God, that have proven ministry. Shout out to Bishop Huggins. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some of them people on, and we're gonna do some stuff. Thank you, sister. I gotta be myself. We're gonna do some stuff, and what we're gonna do, it's going to trouble people. I was built for this. My mother used to always say when I was little, "You ain't nothing but a trouble." But why would you do that in class? Why would you go and do that? And I see how it's coming together. So mine, when I took the salt and pepper shaker and I did all of that stuff when I was a little kid to try to make the whole class sneeze and just being, I was built for that. I didn't meet y'all God yet, but I was built for the things that I was doing. And it's hard talking about people and talking about culture and different things, and it's going to be offensive to a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the religious world that's banging culturally. Urban apologists and other people that's banging culturally. I often ask hard questions like, where are the European apologists that's banging and out here spending so much time talking about how the Ku Klux Klan is a wicked, satanic organization, Universal Church Armstrong in them, and the serpent seed doctrine, how the blacks occur. Where them white apologists at that's banging on them white Christians? The Klan is a Christian organization. Skinheads in them a Christian organization. Where they at? Where they at? We don't know where they at, but we got some apologists that's banging culturally to lift up one culture. Everybody's in the kingdom. We're not saying that these people are not God's people, but they're banging to lift up a culture, and they're checking some other people. And their energy is strong when checking some other people. I like what the brother said in the video. Why aren't we checking? We're not spending a lot of time checking on Messianics, our Jews for Jesus friends, and they're our people. These are our people. We're not spending a lot of time checking them, but I'm going to check a darker hue of people. I'm going to question Sister E and them and all of that other stuff. I remember one time I was talking to that lady. I said, listen, you already saved. You already got the Holy Ghost. Just put Israel down. She's like, no. She said, I can't do it. I can't do it, I think I'm blaming a lot of the stuff on her. Then I was up in the bishop office when I was out of town in Pennsylvania, and some stuff jumped off on the live. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but some people know. As soon as I jumped in, as soon as I called the Uber and I was out of there, I jumped in the car. Charles, I tell you, I hit the Israelite lady. I hit on the jack. I said, I might have to backpedal. I might have to make some hate videos on y'all. That's because I'm scary. That's because I'm leaving the degreed up people. I said, I might have to backpedal a little bit on y'all. And just hearing her voice, she didn't say you wasn't no disrespectful. She said, I understand you out there now, and you got to get your money up. I know you, she know my situation financially. She's like, yo, I understand. But I'm hearing her voice, but then I'm hearing a voice on the inside. I'm just stirring. Oh, that ignorance is coming out of me by the time. She said, all right, I'll talk to you later. I said, all right, no hard feelings or nothing. By the time I got back to that Airbnb I was staying at, and I turned that camera on, that Yolanda, that other spirit jumped on me. That other spirit jumped on. I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. I wilded out. So we're going to go through some stuff. I don't know if these people are coming, but I want to read what some brothers said. I didn't want to really say his name, but he come through. There's some cats that come through, and I try to go back, they don't want no phones out in the class, but I try to go back and I try to read a lot of the comments. We're going to talk about biblical anthropology. We got anthropology as a science out here, but we got biblical anthropology, and that's anthropology is just the science of men. Biblical anthropology talks more about man, where man come from and the purpose of man and the nature of man. And we're going to get into the school of the spirit. The school of the spirit with a small s, because there were multiple schools of the spirit to teach man in Kemet, to teach man in Babylon, teach man in India how to develop his spirit. And how human beings are made up. I want to read some comments that the brother said. I don't know how far we're going to go, but we're open to some things, and we have to discuss these things because a lot of what we're going through, people can say, forget about it, forget about it, forget about it. But in all actuality, it has to do with race. It has to do with culture. It has to do with slavery and the images of Christ and everything. It's easy right now for the church. It's easy right now for people to say, forget everything, Red Sea. They could say it right now, forget everything. So earlier this morning, I was talking about the whole police killing. Thank you, Taylor, in the super chat. We appreciate you. Zeal for the king, but not according to the knowledge. Oh, man, zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. There's a lot of stuff that we were talking about, and we were dealing with these police killings, and we're in a Christian country, and how should we approach it? Plenty of people in the church feel, just leave it alone. This is spiritual, and let the devil do what the devil's going to do. But I like what the sister brought out. If we would have just left stuff alone, we'd have still been in slavery. You gotta force an abuser. You gotta force a molester. Some folk gotta get forced, because do you think what rapist just gonna stop? What molester just gonna stop molesting? That's not their nature. That's not human nature. What serial killer just gonna go off into the blue? I'm stop carry killing. The feds know we gotta track him down, because a serial killer gonna keep going till they get caught. So it's not sensible to think you should let something go and you shouldn't buck against it. You shouldn't buck against it, and things are happening because the dominant culture, of course, their version of Christianity is going to be what's going to hold their culture up. What y'all think, we going to all have blue eyes and blonde hair in heaven, in the kingdom, in the New Jerusalem, wherever y'all feel y'all going to dwell? What do y'all thinking this is? It can't be, so we got to discuss some stuff. Now, I want to ask y'all a question. When it comes to the Bible, does the Bible give us the origin? Sister Carr, you're a troublemaker, but you mean good. Do you feel that the Bible speaks about the origins of race? That's what I want to talk about. Remnant, thank you so much in that super chat. We appreciate you, Remnant 88. I want to talk about that. Pastor Mike is in here. Oh, and Apostle, we were just talking about you. We're going to definitely get you on. I think I just hit you in Messenger. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. Y'all going to make me go into all of it. But I want to talk with the race thing first, because I got notes. I'll say, I drink the coffee. No coffee is here. I done skipped the chicken. I'm on my salad stuff. But I said, I want to talk first. I want to make sure I talk to y'all first. Look what Rev said. Rev said, all right. Apostle said, Cain, very good. And I hate that I got to bring this stuff up, but what are we going to do? What did Hobbes said? Hobbes said the sons of Noah. I'm going to read the brother's comment first. It's going to be, those that are offended, I'm sorry to offend y'all, but I'm going to read I'm not going to say his name, but I'm going to read the brother's comments, because he's commenting to something I said earlier concerning the police brutality and how Israel was a mixed nation. He said mixed, and he just threw it out there. I didn't answer him. I was in class, but somebody else threw something in there. So y'all listen to this, and we're going to go in before we get into the Trojan horse, before we get into that spirit and seduction and all of that stuff. There were no whites in that mixed multitude, referring to the video earlier. I was talking about a mixed multitude came out of Egypt and was the foot of Mount Sinai. It's called a mixed multitude because there were various tribes of dark-skinned people. This is what the other brother said. He says, that's right. We're supposed to believe that blacks and whites mixed together. He said, people haven't tackled where white people come from. I hate that I have to discuss this. When we start dealing with race in the Bible, how do we deal with this if we're approaching the subject of biblical anthropology? The Bible don't show us where white people come from, black people come from, Chinese people come from. Someone said nowhere. when we start dealing with skin color? Do we deal with the DNA? We're talking about biblical anthropology or Christian anthropology from what the Bible say about man. When we discuss it, we basically, mostly we deal with man as a body, soul, and spirit, as a man, a tripartite being, a bipartite being, and that's where we actually go. But when we start dealing with skin color and people and different creatures, and does evolution play a part in pigmentation and eye color and features and nose, ears, and mouths? I really wanna slow down because this is so important. All right, the apostle says Cain. The Old Testament, it was just shades of brown. No, if the Old Testament was written in 1400, we got redhead, we got Europeans in 1400 BCE if Moses wrote, or if we go back to 1750, we have Europeans that are on the set. He said shades of brown. Lechat says genetics tell you where Caucasian people come from. Lechat, and the people that I love, the people, the God's people. Race has been attached to color. Nation doesn't subject itself to that. That's the other thing that I was going to ask. When we start dealing with the Bible, race is a foreign concept, the Bible, but nationality is not. What do we do when we're dealing with race? What do we do when we're dealing with nationality and the biblical text? That's a whole different set of stuff. But we had people like Armstrong, we had the serpent seed doctrine, we had so many people that were running around saying that when we start dealing with the serpent in the Garden of Eden, that the serpent was a being, and the serpent had intercourse, and the serpent had intercourse with Eve. And there were a different group of people. Some people, the Nation of Islam taught this mellow when we start dealing with the Garden of Eden and Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X and Minister Farrakhan and on Wesley Muhammad and them, they all received the tradition that the origin of Adam and Eve were the origin of our European brothers and sisters, and that's a newer origin that people already existed. And they knew that European Freemasons were pushing this back in the days. Elijah Muhammad and other people heard it, and they took it and flipped it. Armstrong and them were teaching that the people that were beasts in the field that already existed, that were already out there, those were the people, those were the different ethnic groups, but they weren't the pure, chosen, holy, blessed ones of God. And when God brought wisdom to the Garden of Eden and wisdom to his special race or a special group of people, their job is to lead the planet. And secretly, some people believe secretly, other people believe it's not secretly, that they received doctrines from angels, and they took they became the Greeks. They had mystery schools, and they said the Egyptians were Europeans. They had mystery schools. That's that whole Hermetic thing. They built the pyramids. They built your Georgia Guidestone. Everything is connected with ley lines, and it's connected to Europe and the blue-eyed ones or the ascended ones that's guiding the European race and guiding them on the planet spiritually, because they're the keepers of the planet. This doctrine spread all over Europe, and they had a serpent seed doctrine, and they said the beasts of the field were us, the Asians, and everybody else to work for them. So there's a whole bunch of us. So this clearly justified slavery when people did this. It justified slavery. Now, later on, there were not too many people that spoke against this, but there were other people that started saying later on, after all of this, with the civil rights movement and everything, and Billy Graham and other people that came that were Freemasons that were exposed to this doctrine, Shambach and them, they had tent meetings, and some of them said the blacks and the whites need to be separate in the tent meetings. I'm going way back in the days. But then other people said, they just started preaching, we all come from God. A lot of preachers, a lot of seminaries didn't condemn the serpent seed doctrine. Branham and so many popular preachers were teaching it, but they just started saying we all come from God, and they left it alone. We all come from God. We all come from God. But people have secretly always felt a certain way, and they said, well, we invented everything in Europe. We invented the sciences, and we invented the telescope, and we invented all of these things. And this is why Professor James and Stolen Legacy and other ones said that they had to pick up and take the Kemetic teachings and the pyramids in Egypt and Nubia, and anything that they found seemed like an advanced civilization, be it Africa, be it Asia, be it in the Americas. They had to make those people European. Now, I'm going to go to the spirituality and what the mystery schools taught, what the occult schools taught. But according to the Bible, that's how can we say we get back to the Bible, and the Bible is not tampered with. And they started going to Talmud and other stuff, saying we were cursed because of copulation on the ark. When we go to those things, what does the writ say? That's how come I got to put seminary down, because remember, these same seminaries weren't letting people that look like me in up until the 60s. And then pastors that started going to seminary, they started going to seminaries down south. They said, well, let me see what's what. And that's when the seminaries opened the door, and then the pastors and a lot of the preachers that got in there, they weren't bucking against nothing. They were so happy to be in there because they was above the other preachers. So now what do we do with that? What does the Bible say? Where Israel at? I want y'all to talk to, because we're at war with y'all with the color thing. We're so shocked at what y'all are saying because we never questioned where the other people come from that call themselves jury or whatever. We never questioned that. And we busy beating y'all all in the head. All of these things are tied and connected together, but a lot of people say for salvation, this one of the Christian doctrines in the church, biblical anthropology, but the churches don't teach this. We don't teach a heavy ecclesiology. We don't teach a heavy eschatology, end times, and Israel and Gentiles. We teach in rapture. Speaking in tongues and dancing and touching your neighbors. And then I'm going to talk about how the occultists brought the prosperity in. I'm going to talk about the chosen horse, because in the midst of all of this stuff, when the church didn't check it, a strong delusion came on the church. And with the strong delusion came on the church, it was an emotionalism, because the cult and the occult doctrine from the mystery schools crept in through the back door. Red says that in the last days, many shall depart from the faith. Let me see if I wrote some scriptures down. Giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. I wrote the definition of seduction down here. Seduction is the process of deliberately enticing a person to engage in something. That's all seduction is. The reason that we got a problem is because it says in the last days, many shall depart from the faith. And people got that confused when we start talking about people departing from the faith. It never said they were going to leave the church. People stayed in the church but departed from the faith. This is where the confusion is coming in. Being in the church and going to the church and jumping up in the building means nothing. They departed from the faith. When did departure come in? God ain't going to go for no racism and no nonsense, and his spirit's not going to get lifted. So they brought the intellectualism from Europe and other places in the seminaries in there. But who was the founders? Who were the ones that started donating money to foundation? Who were those people giving money to these seminaries to train these preachers? And it had to be a spin on it when they turned around. They said, all right, we're going to start letting the black preachers in. What was the spin? What was the doctrine? They did it out of their good heart. Remember, a molester don't stop molesting. All of a sudden, out of the goodness of their heart, they opening up the doors and letting us in to learn this doctrine. I don't mean to be a troublemaker, but we got to look at some stuff. I don't even know where I could even go back to start reading the comments. That's how come I say I go further and I start reading the comments and we'll come back later. So we're beefing with Israel. We're beefing with everybody that don't. Oh, we're beefing with those oneness. And I'm like, oh, God, it's just so hurt. But I always felt it in my spirit, because the people don't want to use the word Trinity. We don't have to. I understand the gang life, but something's always been in me. And when God started delivering me, it's a process. And he's showing me, and I'm going through Israel and Egypt. And that's the same thing that I'm going through, that we're going through, that people is coming up out of some of them buildings that call themselves Christianity. It's a process, and he's drawing them out. Because of kneeling, and we call it coming up out of the matrix, but it's being delivered and being freed, set free from bondage. Where this stuff coming from? Now, I got to ask some questions. Because we see some words in the Bible. We'll see bondage, and let me see, I wrote a few words down. We'll see certain things in the Bible. Bondage we'll see in the Bible. What other words that we see in the Bible? Captivity. We see words like that, captivity and bondage. We see a lot of that in the Old Testament, but the Old Testament, when it spoke about captivity and bondage and so much, when it's spoken about in the Old Testament, we see it physically. But when we see the word captivity and we see the word bondage and being held captive, we see it spiritually, we see it mentally, we see it emotionally. So the stories that played out in the Old Testament, we see them happening, and we're warned about those things, which were types and shadows of things to come. Could it be that God's people are here now and we're caught up in Egypt? A type of Egypt, a type of Babylon, that is the religion that we call Christianity. Is God hung up on titles? Some people say it's just a spirit and y'all want to bang on Christianity. Christianity has run amok on this planet. You got two Christianities, like you got two Louis bags. You got two Fendi bags. You got two types. You got the real and you got the bootleg. And because the real costs so much, narrow is the way. Because the real costs so much, we got a bunch of bootleg on the block. And because the Chinese are making it the fake watches looking like our watches, the fake iPhones, and they flood the hood up with it. Come on, I used to sell them Guess pocketbooks. I used to sell them Coach bags. Y'all ain't gonna tell me about China, Canal Street. Y'all ain't gonna tell me about the bootleg. And then when they got up on it, we had the Macy's bag like it was coming from Macy's with the serial number. Smell it. And it got the Coach thing. Read this right here. This is the Coach catalog where you order. We had everything in the bag and it was bootleg. I'm talking about the bootleg right now. I'm talking about the bootleg right now. This is I say I can't even get into the whole thing in here. But I'm trying to get a lot out. Oh y'all, I'm trying to get. They told me about another 9 days. By the time I get that thing out, 9, 12 days. Every day I'm going on twice a day. Every day we gonna get this work. And then when I get the, I'm just going straight to the Patreon people. Y'all forgive me. Shout out to them because by the time everything jump off, it's gonna be a problem. Period. It's gonna be a problem because there's things that we have to look at. Now, a lot of people can tell us now, forget about race, forget about color. It's hard to forget right now when everything is built on it because we're being disrespected by these police officers and everything out here because of what's what. We got even Africans coming over here disrespecting American-born blacks. We got Asians coming over here disrespecting us because something went out hundreds of years ago and it's never changed. It's never been corrected. So it's a disrespectful attitude on the people. And then on top of that, the power that they receive from the schools by speaking a word. I'm going to talk about speaking a word. Thank you, Hoff, in the super chat. I'm going to talk about speaking a word in the atmosphere because the schools in Kemet, the schools in Babylon, not the school of the Holy Spirit, not the schools of the spirit that the prophets of Israel had, not y'all real prophets and y'all real spirit. I'm talking about these other, the power of the human soul to speak a word. You ain't nothing. You're going to be a bum like your father. We do have words. We do have power to speak certain words. Then that's how I said I got to take my time and explain to name it and claim it in the occult tradition that fell down and how we're in the imago Dei. So when people start claiming and saying certain things, have it affected us? You're a bum. You're no good. You're like your father. You ain't going to be nothing. You ugly. You remind me of your daddy. And we start saying things. How much have we been affected from people speaking words to us? Death and life is in the power of the tongue. When they take a spiritual thing and they carnalize it, I might have made that word up too, right on the spot. Carnalizing the spiritual thing. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We got a lot to talk about. There's a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Let me give you some Chuck Colson. Let me see if I got the comment from Chuck in here somewhere. Because he said something very interesting. Charles Colson said the Trojan horse has crept into the church and it is infiltrated. It has infiltrated so much we can't tell the real thing from the fake thing. The Seduction of Christianity by Dave Hunt, page 12. I'm going to give y'all, because y'all energy is so strong for a darker hue of people, I can't, everything Dr. Ben said is a lie. Everything Van Sertima said. So being that everything that the darker people say that them folk is lying, because they claim to be on some quote-unquote black power stuff, I got to give you Chuck Colson and them. I got to give you Dave Hunt. I got to give you Ken Johnson. It hit harder with you people when it's coming from them other folk. So this is what I'm going to take my time and do. And this is why y'all are not going to like me. But it's okay. I have to accept it. Especially that I'm hearing more from y'all. My father's talking to me now, so I'm sure enough going to go, well, listen. I'm praying the old school prayer. Where he leads me, I will follow. What y'all used to tell me in that, as the light shine in my path, I'm going to walk there. So I'm praying and I'm thinking and all right, I'm going to walk in this thing, God. You show me what it is. But this thing is mixed with history. Because they told me to be saved, you don't have to worry about history. You're right. To be saved, you ain't got to worry about history. But to deliver a people, you got to know where you're going. Moses was scared when he came up out of there. He told the Cushite and them, he told his brother-in-law and them, yo, lead us, be our eyes and ears. The prophet of God, where I got to get the apostle on here to talk that talk with me. Wait a minute, we got to figure this out. It's a lot of stuff to figure out. It's a lot of stuff to figure out. But they trying to tell us, and like I said, and shout out to the apologists. Y'all, listen, I ain't mad at nobody. I don't want to be mad at nobody, but there's so much going on that we got to deal with. And y'all, for some, my heart told me, y'all want me to hate them folk. No, I don't feel right hating them. Nope, I may not know everything. I might not know that Hebrew, that Greek, and I got no MDiv, but them folk over there calling on his name. And then when the people that I knew, then when the people that was already worshipers started looking into Israel and they turned around and said that they wasn't saved, I said, nope, something, man, Houston, we got a problem. But of course, I wouldn't think that the seminary trained church people would lie. They won't lie. They don't lie, do they? And then what are we going to do? Like the other brother said, what are we going to do? What are we going to do now when we got Europeans? Because y'all know there's a bunch of Europeans that's considered messianic. Y'all do know there's a bunch of Europeans that's some Hebrew root stuff. Y'all do know there's a bunch of Europeans that's being witness with darker folk that's considering them Israel and consider them brothers and sisters. I told them before, Rodney, but they don't want to listen to me because I ain't got no education. I already told them all the Israelites ain't all signing. Y'all focusing in the wrong place. But they ain't want to listen. Now they scrambling, writing books. Now they scrambling, doing whatever. And then the rest of them going to be quiet. No, come out. You got to come out from wherever you are. Come with that energy because people are bringing out evidence now. That's how somebody said, we don't even need Zondervan. Remember, I ain't Israel, but my people was married to Israel and we rolled with them coming up off the ark. Any way you want to look at that story. So now y'all can't go in the corner and be quiet. Y'all got to come up out of this. Come out and just break it down. If they pseudo, they pseudo. Break it down. What's taking you so? Break it down. Come on out and break it down. Let's put this. However, I said the one thing with me because I'm not banging for no. Wherever the pie falls, wherever this thing falls, let it lay where it falls, and that's what we riding with. And I knew it was some energy even at the beginning. They was like, yo, Berean, where she come from? I tell you. And I go back and I'm telling my people, yo, they say that Sister Agent, my man, and we start talking and we start joking about it so much. We started calling her Agent E. Hey, Agent, I'm hitting on the thing. That's what I got on the phone. I think the new phone got her Sister E. The other phone got her as Agent. I said, how's she coming up in there? I said, no, it's a good look. We want people, but I didn't know that God was leading and doing some stuff. I rides with Israel. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all may not like that, but I ride with them folk. The mere fact that we riding with Jews for Jesus, why can't I ride with Sister E and them? Oh no, my mind there's something happening to me here. And remember, I'm here with European Baptist folk. And I'm going over there with oneness Pentecostal people that don't want to use the word Trinity. They're hitting me in the head with Deuteronomy 6 and 4 and speaking tongues. You're gonna get they're hitting me with all of that, but I'm riding and there's something that's happening in the midst of all of this. In the midst of all of this, they said, we ain't going to even give you, don't worry about what, you just pray, and whatever God is leading you to do, we want to give you that time out to hear from the Lord. Baptist folk that don't even speak in tongues, that's Europeans. They said, listen, we're going to give you the time out. I'm not playing with y'all. We appreciate you, Sister Giselle, in the super chat. I'm not playing with y'all. And the way God is doing it, he's bringing it together from all type of people. My energy been too strong. Said I've been hanging out with them European hitters doing construction, and they doing other stuff. I've been hanging out with the wrong folk. These good saved Baptist European folk right here. And they said, listen, we can whatever it is. We don't know what God's called you to do, but we are here to assist you. We're here to assist you. That's how come them other folk, I'm like, Lord, I gotta figure something out. That was Israel. Somebody said, yo, go ahead and confess to them, because I got videos that could trouble some of my people, but the God of heaven is speaking to them. And they ain't mad. That other sister, she said, oh, so you deal with race and stuff like that and culture, and there's a lot of people leaving the church because such and such. I said, yes, and that's a burden God himself has put on my heart. Then I got the other folk. He said, well, the God of Israel is great, and he's saying, Yah. Y'all don't know it's white folk saying Yah out here. Y'all know Yah ain't black, right? I don't know. They start coming around using them different words. I like Jesus. And, yo, I'm going to get off of here right now. I'm going to stop because I'm a little bit scary still, but I know what God's saying. He said he's delivering me from that spirit of approval. And I was like, man, what approval? I don't need no approval. You know I'm ignorant, God. But I felt it in my spirit. He said, no, you want approval for them degree dudes. Them dudes that got them degrees, them seminary dudes, you want approval for them. There ain't no approval but my approval. I put a stamp on you. This way I feel like spinning out in a tongue. I'm sorry, Israel, I speak in tongues. But y'all, we riding together. And this is what I'm like, all right, God, whatever it is, you know I'm riding with you. I'm seeking your face. I'm praying. And then like I said, and I got my apostolic people. I got the council, and I'm talking and I'm building with different people. Shout out to Pastor Smith. Shout out to Bishop. Shout out to Sister Hickson. It's real. Shout out to Jason Brown. There's a lot of people in there riding, and some people like, listen, Doc, I don't know what you doing. I don't know where you going, but I'm riding with you. And I appreciate that. I'm like, God, people are riding with me. People are coming to the channel. Other people say, Berean, you just seem fair. And I'm just going to ride with you on the strength that you fair. So I'm like, Lord, people are coming. People are following. I know my words. I don't want to judge. I don't want to say the wrong thing. My words. I feel and I hear what my man and them over there saying. And the educated people over there saying. I'm like, God, what you saying to me and what I'm feeling, it's impossible that you'll be dealing with me on this right here when all them dudes got degrees and I'm a multiple convicted. He said, He said, listen, I called you for this from the foundation. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. The king, I done spoke to my pops. I'm good right now, y'all. I'm good right now. Y'all may not understand this is the Bible. Who just said that? Troy, there's some trouble. And I like the troublemakers. Troy said the Bible over tradition. Then the young dude, that's a whole nother thing. You see, I grew up in church and da 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 da. So the other young brother, he was like, he started getting into the Bible. Then he started asking other questions. He asked me questions. I'm in a class like this. I'm in a class like I ain't listening. I ain't hearing. He started talking about that tree and certain things, and I'm looking. I ain't saying a word. I'm quiet. The other said, yo, ask him. Ask the guy in the front. Like, boy, listen, there's a lot going on. We're going to pick up on this tomorrow. How long I've been on? 35 minutes? I want to talk about a little bit of what's going on. Maybe I got some time with that. I hear some people getting off that. Only a few of them, the people up here got the key. When I hear the elevator and stuff, I know some of these people from up here. But we have to look at that. There's a lot that's been going on before we even get into the spirituality, because our energy is strong as apologists, as people out here. Our energy has been strong, but our discernment has been slipping in the body of Christ. I love church. I love the saints. So we're strong for Mormons. We're strong on apology. It's so funny how our apologetics are going the direction that we wanted to go. We banging hard on Mormons. We banging hard on Seventh-day Adventists. And we tried that banging. We tried that banging with Israel. We tried to bang them the same way. We tried to make them all together. We tried that same banging the way we do Mormons and the way we do Jehovah's Witness. We got a way that we bang. But in the midst of us banging, the Trojan horse was right there. Now, what was the Trojan horse? Y'all already know the story about the Greeks and war in Troy, and the Trojan horse came in, and after everybody partied and drank, they closed up the gates of the city, and all the soldiers and everybody went to sleep. And in the midst of that, that's when all of the SWAT team, the leaders inside the horse, got out and opened up the gates to let everybody else in. The Trojan horse, whilst we were busy doing apologetics to the Seventh-day Adventists and lumping all the Israelites together and all of this other nonsense, the Trojan horse been coming into church, and they came on in through doctrine, through humanism, through intellectualism, and denying the power of Yah. So now the Trojan horse is in the church, and it's coming from the spirit of Kemet, it's coming from the spirit of Rome, it's coming in its name and it claiming it comes from the occult schools that train people's spirits. So when they start telling you, you just got to speak those things, and if you think positive, Oprah is down with the order. That's Kemet and Babylon. Oprah and all of them is down with that. Will Smith is down with that, and all of these Jamie Foxx, they down with that. And it sounds like Christianity. All you got to do is keep positive thoughts. What's my girl named Cookie? Taraji P. Henson. I want the positive energy. I just keep positive thoughts in my mind, and then they twist y'all up and give you Bible. Then you got pastor like what's that Alfred Street pastor? And they got all of that stuff like Jesus ain't the only way. There's other ways to do what we do. No, it's not. No, you and the devil, the seminary, and your mamas and all of them is lying. And now the church is lying. And you're lying in the name of the church because it comes from the church. We receiving it. So they'll say slick stuff. And I'm going to get up out of here with that. Their energy is strong. So then they'll turn around, they'll say slick stuff. What they'll say that's slick? Whatsoever things are good and honest and pure, just think lovely thoughts. Now, when Paul was saying that, Paul was talking to believers already, telling them to renew their mind. Thank you, seducing spirits, Sister Smith. Now we got unsaved fornicating devils out here talking about whatsoever good things, just think good things, and good things will come to you. And then we got this nonsense, y'all spreading this philosophy. It was spreading this nonsense inside the church, and the self-helps. So my man laughing, so they ask people, Google and spots like that, they asking these preachers to come and give us a motivational speech, and we give you 40 bands. So now you get, all you could do is just come and speak to our corporation, but don't mention Yah, don't mention Jesus. Just speak. And so other people saying, well, I can just use and I can just talk about inspiration from the Bible. So now everybody becoming motivational speakers. And you're supposed to be separate unto the Lord, prophetess, bishop. But they give it for them bands. Y'all going to come up in there and y'all going to speak. I just don't have to say the name Jesus, but I'm going to give them principles from Sermon on the Mountain and how to treat other employees good that you want. Listen, y'all people going to make me y'all going to make me call y'all the N-word. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm finna get up off of here. But the game is real, and the game is real, and the game is strong, and the game is up in the church. The game is up in the church, and the intellectuals, the taught pastors, the churches that's jumping, that's full of humanistic philosophies, and then having a form. Who said that this word writ is real? Having a form of godliness. So they got a collar on, they singing the songs, and they got the choir, and they got the lights and the cameras and everything looking good. But it ain't right. Everything that look good ain't right. I hear the Holy Ghost talking right now. Everything that look good ain't right. So, but then if it looked good and stained a steeple outside on the front and we just coming on in there, we just coming in there and singing and clapping. Oh, don't worry about them questions. But then the ignorant folk, God's stirring the ignorant folk. Remember when the apostle said no good thing can come out of Nazareth? In the hood, the ignorant folk don't know no better, but they coming out. Where that steeple come from? Them old ignorant, them old ignorant folk on the corner talking about that tree and all of that stuff. They don't even know how to exegete. They ain't never heard of exegete, but they say that tree and that egg ain't right. But we saying forget the tree, forget the egg, stop all of that stupidness and just come in and believe. Love and believe. So we're loving and believing, and the kids that got molested that was playing the organ, now they're bishops, and now they're marrying men and women. Now two men can be married and they're the bishop, and y'all say they got a good inspirational church, and y'all like everything, and our gospel singers are doing, because we've been loving that music, and all of them been flooded in, so we love it and we've been blessed by them. Discernment took a while to leave, and discernment gonna take a while to come back. And it's gonna happen by his spirit. It's gonna happen by his truth. It's gonna happen by laying before the Lord. I can't believe it. I guess I could, but I can't believe Mama and them had the real Holy Ghost and all these degrees. That another ghost done snuck up in the church. Not every church now. Not every church now, but a lot of the churches that's jumping, a lot of the churches that's popular. So God telling me, yeah, I'm going to train you, and I got to show you who my bishops are, who my apostles are. Because I'm thinking like, oh, I know what's his name, a bishop, and he the archbishop, and he done opened 15 churches and all of that. And God said, I got to train you all over. You've been taught, you've been mimicking, but I got to train you. And I'm like, oh, man, I ain't going to tell y'all, God been saying some stuff to me. That's my father, that's me in that personal conversation. I'm embarrassed at some stuff. And some of this stuff happened since I had a channel, since y'all been hearing me talking. But I'm so somebody said folly. My man said folly. But I'm coming up out of it. I'm coming up out of it. Like I said, it's not every church. It's not every single church, but it's a good bit of them. I don't know the exact number, but it's a good bit of them. So we gotta look, like I said, the mirror and compare them. Every single church, every single sermon, we got to compare them to the revealed word. They told us stay in the book. We're going to stay in the book. Because they telling me, well, you can't pray in the Spirit's not going to reveal it. Go to the book and get it from the book. We compare a lot of what's going on in the book about a lot of what we seeing out here. They done any way we put it. We ain't even got to just, that's the crazy thing. We ain't even got to talk about the tree and the egg. Come from the book and it still ain't lying. And I got to get out of here. I'm done. I got to go get some coffee. I got to go get something to drink. Y'all got me coming up in here getting all excited and everything. I'm done. Got to shut it down. Enough is enough. I'm going too far. And like I said, they're already used to it now. I'm getting better because I'm telling y'all, don't even call me. Don't even hit my jack. Don't even hit me on the email. I done heard from God. I'm up in here and the people say, listen, get quiet and just pray. However he's leading you, now he's leading me. Now some other stuff is coming. Now he's dropping things in my spirit, so I got to keep that pen and that pad and that phone and recording. God's dropping so much stuff and showing me so much stuff. I'm like, oh God, I got to backpedal on this. Good thing I ain't go too far with them folk. Good thing I started backpedaling on that other madness. Suppose I start backpedaling, I would be out here crying in front of y'all too, man. I'm sorry. Because them people, I'm going to tell y'all right now, they ain't going to never be run. They ain't going to never backpedal. They ain't going to never backpedal. If anything, they'll keep quiet and won't talk about anything and just act like it never happened. Nah, we might have to call. I tell you, my ignorance is on another level. I might have to call them out. What happened 4 years ago when you said such and such? What happened 3 years ago, Bishop, when you said such and such? I had to call it out. I had to bring it out. Told them, try to tell them folks. There's more of them for y'all busy looking, y'all just focus. How come the Holy Ghost couldn't tell y'all, listen, there's more than them camps, there's more of these folk around. How come the Holy Ghost couldn't tell these folk this stuff? Because y'all got the Holy Ghost. The jumping into y'all got the Holy Ghost, right? That's what, I don't know. That's talking about that Spirit of God, that's the revealer of truth, the Spirit of truth according to the Bible, not going to just make you dance and jump. Not going to just make you disrespect other people and other movements. No. I'm on a ghost check right now. Now I'm down with ghost hunters. Now I'm going, because everybody got the ghosts. Everybody got the Spirit. Now I got to go comparing, because y'all told me, they trained me in some good stuff. They told me the Spirit, they told me the devil can do anything, but the devil can't bring forth fruit. So I got to look and see how different people have been treating different people. I got to look for fruit. They told me to be in fruit. I'm doing it. I'm doing the most right now. I'm doing too much. I gotta go somewhere and sit down. But we gotta be ghost inspectors out here. We fruit inspectors out here. We can't just be so simple. Because when we get on the block and we start talking to people and they coming down the block and all of that, we don't play with people like, oh Lord, this dude finna walk up my car begging. What are you coming up to me for? And be cautious about people. We walk into the car, we see cats across the street. We know how to be cautious, but in spiritual things, a lot of us haven't been cautious, and all type of people done came in. All type of spirits done came in, got comfortable. But their religious spirit, Christ had to fight the same thing. I didn't know they could flip it and do it on the level that they doing it on. I told you, I'm going to bring the apostle and them up on here. I'm going to bring, because my job is to rally and talk that talk, but I still got to bring some other people to validate this thing, to show y'all some things, because we got to go to another level. We got to go to higher ground. That's what God's calling us up. He's calling us up to some higher ground no matter what. We playing with these folk. Listen, matter of fact, we can't get these folk too much airtime. Lord, I ain't need to start saying I shouldn't have said that. I'm not here talking about the haters, because I can't come down off this wall. I'm like Nehemiah, and we can't even come down. We doing this work. We got to build and do this work. We got to go, and we're going to expose from up here. We're gonna teach from up here. We can't come down. The rain is coming. We got to close this building up. We got to get this thing done. Quicker we get this thing done, the quicker we're going to be the quicker we're going to be right and exact. He's commanded us to do some stuff, and we got to walk in the commandments of what he's doing. And I could even call my homegirl. I called and I was like, listen, I was telling her some other stuff. God said, you don't gotta go down there and see them folk and say A, B, C, and D. If I put them people in your life, if I did A, B, C, and D, you better trust me and walk in this thing. So I'm walking by faith and not by sight. I've been doing a lot of stuff backwards. Forgive me, people. For somebody out here with a channel with thousands of followers, forgive me, but I'm finna line it up. I wasn't bad. I wasn't into no nonsense, but I wasn't walking tight. I wasn't walking straight in sync with what the Spirit of Yah is saying. But trust me, I'm here getting in sync right now. I'm coming up out that zoo. I'm already out that circus. I'm coming up out that matrix, and I'm going to stop being scary. All right, y'all, I'm getting about it. I'm going to get some to eat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Marine Teach, $ Marine Teach. Y'all already know what it is. I appreciate all the support. But I shout out everybody. There's so many people. Like I said, Bishop Brown and them, Apostle Jenkins, Pastor Smith. Shout out Pastor Smith, Sister Carl. Salute Pastor E. Salute them dudes. I don't got no beef with them. Salute Pastor Majors. Shout out to Sister E. It's real, boy. Y'all gonna think. Listen, I'm doing. Every man got to do what he's persuaded to do, what he's lined up, what he's called to do. Y'all better go ahead and do it. I'm gonna do it. Can't a hater stop this thing? Can't a hater stop God's work? God's seed approval is on this thing right here, and y'all gonna just watch it play out. Try your tricks, because y'all folk in the circus got a lot of tricks. Try your tricks. Try to tag this and do that. Do whatever you do. Your numbers, you're not going to do it. You're not called to do what I do. I'm unique with this, and I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to holler at y'all later.